What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast. This is episode 301. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And we are decompressing by watching a double dose of depressing with Adam.
I'll say.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, saddest week so far.
It's, pretty sad.
Yeah.
We watched what, Stalingrad?
Yeah, first
Is that how you
Ford
pronounce
film.
Stalingrad.
Stalin-
Stalingrad. I guess depends on your region of the continent,
It's
bro.
Stalingrad.
Is it a long day, short day? What are we doing here? You know, like,
I mean, it's
Stalin.
It's Stalingrad, man.
So this first foreign film February.
Yeah.
And we started out with it was great. The way it was made, the way it was shot, it's just so depressing,
It was
dude.
super depressing.
Like, they don't make war movies like this in the US.
No.
That I don't know what it is. I don't know why they don't, but they just don't make war movies like this and I wish that they would, because I think that I think with the right writers, right directors, and the money back in it, even if they don't have the money back in it, they could still pull something like this off and make it very humane and impactful, yet
Well, I think a lot of that the contrasting aspects of a Western of an American made World War II film as opposed to the European versions, because America, at least we're taught a lot in our school system that we answered the hero's call, we got attacked,
Yeah.
we went in, we did the job,
We're the good guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in Europe, while that might have happened with the Allied powers, ultimately their homeland, all those homelands just got fucking destroyed, man.
yeah,
And so it's a starker perspective, because there was no oh man, we're gonna rise up and do it. Over there it was just, oh shit, okay, Hitler took Poland. Okay, he's taken more countries. It's just the expansion of Nazi Germany when they were doing their conquest. It was just the reality of war over there is much more serious than here.
yeah,
Not to say that we don't take that serious, but the European conflicts that unfolded over World War One, World War Two, and all the other ones that happened, before that.
yeah,
Um, as long as those nations have existed, there's been some sort of conflict going on. And
right,
we're fortunate to, despite the ground wars that we've had here, but back when our country was founded, ultimately we're protected by two massive two seas, two fucking oceans.
yeah,
Also, the mountains.
Yeah.
yeah,
Each side of the country, there's two big mountain ranges, and they're full of people that like to hunt.
yeah,
And
yeah.
kind of
That's
people you don't want to
true.
fuck with.
Yeah, that's
You know?
true. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, it's very interesting watching these and seeing this different perspective, because, like, with it being a German film, a German made film about Germans going into Stalingrad and the things that they had to endure, and like them being portrayed as the bad guys, more or less. Like, they're I thought that was a very interesting and kind of a ballsy move on their part to do that, from a filmmaking perspective, because there's some there has to be some type of pride, regardless of what happened, the circumstances behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
There has
absolutely.
there has to be some type of, like, country, pride, and to, like, kind of put yourself out there on a level like that and show these horrors of war and the things that your ancestors had to do. Like lining all those people up and shooting all of them because they didn't have enough. Like, dude, like, it's devastating to watch shit like that
Well,
happen,
the
man.
hospital scene, dude. I've never seen a hospital in a war movie
No.
look that and that's very real. Like people would just be screaming everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there were people with
MASH.
legs fucking gone. Like,
Yeah. MASH wasn't like that at all.
dude, when they picked that dude up to take him to the hospital, and they
Yeah.
were trying to keep him quiet in that tunnel.
Yeah.
That dude took his knife out and finished cutting the tendon in his leg, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Well, I mean, this movie also does because what's the one thing everyone can get behind is that Nazis were bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And depending on your education system, I know it's different for all the different parts of the world, but for our culture, for that matter, we're we're taught just in broad strokes that just Germany as a whole was just awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this movie sheds light on the fact that there were people that did follow Hitler and were in it. But
A
those
lot of those
moments were
officers were like, I'm not a Nazi.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
and
one
a
guy,
lot
he's
of
like, I'm
those
not a Nazi. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
yeah, and well just the moments where they're constantly button heads with the commander, that
Oh,
evil
when he pegged him
motherfucker.
as a damn Russian sympathizer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was
So it
like, damn, he
showed
had it out for his ass.
yeah, so it wasn't this rank and file system where everyone was just, all right, Hitler's the leader, let's follow him into battle,
Yeah.
It's the same idea as well, it's not the same idea because I know that we all understand that the subject of Nazi Germany, even now, as far removed as we are from that time period, it's still that touchy subject because of a lot of the modern day conversations around it.
Yeah.
But to use, I guess, a more palatable example for our government and our military, there are people that are in our armed forces that could give two shits about the administration.
Yeah. It's a
Uh,
job.
yeah. And I think the same thing obviously applied to Nazi Germany and the German army.
Yeah. Well, and this is what I told Adam before you got on. I said there's a difference between fighting for your country and fighting with your country. And
Oh, yeah.
they really showed that in a huge way in this film where it's like it's either this or die. And to a certain point, like me personally, to a certain point, I'd have been like, just fucking kill me. There's no
Well,
way I could have killed those civilians and those kids, man. There's just no way I could have done it.
like for instance, there's that part in the movie where that dude's sitting there and he's like, you know what? Like, I don't feel like I'm bound. I think he says something like, I don't feel bound by my oath or some shit
When they're
anymore.
in the tent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah. When
and dude's
they
like,
decided they were going to leave.
yeah.
yeah, they're like, I'm fucking done here, man.
How
That was
crazy
crazy
was it?
too. Like they were sitting in that
Yeah,
tent just dying, like
yeah, right.
no food.
Trav, how long you gonna get sentenced to this work camp where you're looking for landmines?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying, dude?
dude,
There's
and
no
that one
way.
guy just pulls it up, palms it,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh man, you'll figure it out."
Yeah,
And it's
you'll
like,
get
"Oh
better.
God, no!"
Yeah,
Like, and
there's
dude,
no
what?
fucking way.
And here's my thing. I feel like there's faith that can be placed in European filmmaking when they're doing these type of period pieces, that there is a level of authenticity there. That being said, dude, if that's how they looked for mines with fucking sticks,
Yeah,
fuck that.
They had a little
yeah,
metal detector too, but
yeah.
they probably
There's
only
only a
had
handful
one.
of them.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We have the one.
yeah. And then like, dude, they go through all this shit. They kill that motherfucker. And they're like, "Oh, there's a house. The White House up the road's got supplies and shit." And they show up there, and it's just like food, everything that you need to survive for quite a while in there. And I'm just like, man, if only, if only they would have just stayed and just roughed it.
I know one thing about the movie, man. the director had to have told every single one of the cast members, they were like, I don't care if you're an extra. I want your best miserable look on at all times.
Yeah.
Because these people do like even though they're the Germans and like when you take a step back out of the film, you're like, these were the bad guys, like we were saying a minute ago. Like there were those moments where you're just deep in the film and you're like, dude, I feel sorry for anyone that fucking fought in World War II. It don't matter what goddamn side you were on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meat grinder, dude.
It was, and it was literally just a
Millions.
numbers game, just a game of just throwing as many bodies into the fray as you could, and whoever had the most were the winner.
Yeah.
The director is Joseph Vilsmir. He was born in 1939 in Nazi Germany.
Oh my God.
So he
So
grew
he
up
grew
in
up
it. Like,
around. Yeah.
you know, he saw family members going off and
Which makes sense,
Yeah.
like, because what I would call the downtime moments in between whatever ridiculous situation the soldiers were going through, like those little moments where you're just seeing everyone just living this pitiful fucking existence at the time, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like I feel like there was a level of care handled in this movie down to the production values where, like, man, as old as this movie is, some of these shots are great.
Oh
he
yeah.
passed away February the 11th, 2020. He was 81.
Wow.
There's a particular shot that stood out with me the most, where the camera was panning and you could see way off in the like you got like a really good. It kind of reminded me of Kubrick's shot from Full Metal Jacket, where you see that building that they're walking up towards,
Mm-hmm.
and like you could see a lot in that image because like there was just a level of depth. I guess I don't know. I don't know the proper terms for this.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing was in this shot in Stalingrad, and you saw like a corpse, like you just see the battlefield littered out. You see like a couple fires here and there, and the camera's just panning. And I just remember being like, "That's a clean shot, man,"
Yeah.
and just completely encapsulates what the next fucking 2 hours of your experience is gonna be.
Yeah.
He spent $11 million. The budget he had,
Oh,
which is 20
11
million in
million.
their currency, but
I mean, money well spent because the movie looked great. I would say, with the exception of the fact that you can tell it was film, um, the movie still holds up, man. I would like to see a Blu-ray,
yeah, like
high
4K copy.
definition. Oh, like a major remaster. I bet
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah.
crazy.
They have one out.
Yeah.
Is it region locked? Do you know? Did you look that far into
Well,
it?
you know, this movie, you can watch it on YouTube. It's on Internet Archive. I mean, so the fact that you could torrent it, I mean, if it's available in those places,
Yeah.
obviously nobody gives a fuck. But there's like a 50 gig rip of it that's
I bet it looks
50
amazing.
gigs.
Yeah. I bet it looks
I mean,
amazing.
you get every
We would
frame.
get rid of the little bit of the pixelation on the fast,
Yeah.
like with
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
train. And did y'all notice? I said something to Griffin earlier, but like I had to go double check because I ended up watching the one that was on Internet Archive because it had bigger subtitles,
hmm
and I just pulled it up and played it on the browser on the TV. But at that beginning, when they first get there, and that German dude standing on that thing, that's like, "Fucking, we're gonna go out there and do the thing," you know, war, you know.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts to that building blowing up, and I was like, "Whoop! What just happened?" Like
Yeah.
that happened several times throughout the movie, where I was like, "Did something just get cut out?" Or
Yeah.
like we're just the jump. Like when he's like, "You're gonna arrest my men? Yeah, you're gonna be punished for this." Then they're just out there, and I'm like, "What?"
It's just, I think it was I think it had to be intentional, man.
Oh yeah, because I went and checked the other rip, and it was done the same. So I was like, "Oh okay."
I feel like
I
it
thought
was
my
almost,
copy was missing shit though. Like,
yeah, like I wonder if it was just a way to like just, you go from one, like like to make the film as jarring as the conflict had to have been. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
because you would have those moments as a if you were a soldier, you like think back. I know it's World War One, but think back in 1917. Even though we got that continuous shot aspect of it, he would have those moments where he's just chilling in the back of a van. The next thing you know, a fucking plane is trying to shoot at him. You know, like
Oh, so I was telling him about there's a 2013 Stalingrad. So this one is from the point of view of a group of Russians that are trying to hold down a building in their city, which is probably those Russians they ran into. So
Ah,
it's from the other side. That's cool.
that's pretty
Might have to
interesting.
check it out. Like,
Yeah, for real, right?
and it's not necessarily a sequel. It's just Stalingrad Russian edition.
yeah,
That's cool. I mean, that would be cool to check out. Like, because
Yeah.
that's
yeah. I
the thing
thought it was
about
just a
World War
complete
II,
remake.
man. The best part of the World War II films are just like being able to see the different perspectives. Because
Yeah.
it's the age old saying where there's one side story, the other side story, and then the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because by the time, if you think about war in general, by the time it's at the point where we're shooting at each other, we're both in the wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, not to sound very hippie, s sounding with it, but if it's at the point where violence is like it's escalated into the violence, then the causes have really just been thrown out the window. Like now
Yeah.
it don't matter. Now it's like we're just gonna kill each other.
Yeah. They did a ceasefire to go out there to get the bodies. That how crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
the way
They
they
had
were
to tell
looking
each
at
other,
each
hold
other.
on a fucking minute, we need to
Like,
get our dead. How how even from looking all dirty and battle used, like how fucking on point were those guns though?
yeah. They look real, like authentic. You know what I mean?
Like were those like MP4s or MP7s or whatever precursor it
MP40s, I
was?
think. That's what
Yeah.
they look like. Remember when he picks up was it the Russian one? He's like, they say these are better than ours.
Yeah, they had Tommy guns too,
Yeah,
right? It's like, whoa,
big old
they don't
drum
jam.
clip.
Yeah. My favorite scene though was at the end when they're all sitting there talking, and that dude's like, every night my flesh melts away from my bones or whatever, where he shoots himself in the head. There's just something so eerie, and that delivery was so well, like so good. You know what I mean?
Well, like, dude,
Hmm.
even if you could get out of that and go back home,
You're
you're
not
gonna
gonna be
be
the same.
fucked up,
No.
dude.
Yeah, man.
The
Well,
shit they saw.
I think that was the same guy too that was like, they told my family that I was dead already.
Yeah. When they were riding in the back of that truck,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's like, they
So
already told him I was dead, so it don't matter.
yeah, he's like, I went home. It's like I couldn't stand being around my wife.
Yeah.
Left the next day. Like told him I was dead. I'm not going back. Like it's done. I'm not the same person that I was when I left. Like I couldn't imagine.
And dude, like when
No.
they're fleeing in their jet, all those fuckers are trying to get on. Like
Yeah,
that
that
was
reminded me of
crazy.
Afghanistan, dude.
Didn't it though?
Yeah, that really. All I could think about too, man, was watching this movie was the war in the Ukraine, and that they're just massacring people, dude.
Well,
People are just being slaughtered. Just
it goes to show you that like war itself is really the big time loop of our species, man. Like
Yeah.
we are destined to always build up to some conflict that loses whatever meaning it initially had, and it just becomes, it becomes the meat grinder.
Yep.
Ever so many decades, man, we got to feed the meat, and it's with these types of conflicts, dude. And I think I mean, not to get too heavy into you know that type of stuff, but I feel like we're destined to do that dance forever. Like
Yeah.
it'll
as
just
long
become
as
more
there's greed and jealousy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the more the more
I mean,
sophisticated we get and the more technologically advanced we get is absolutely irrelevant. That just means it's going to be quicker and more
yeah.
frequent.
It's just
Yeah.
crazy that we're still fighting over land. It's like, didn't we agree? You
Yeah,
know,
right.
the
Well,
maps are
Yeah.
made, bro.
we're also fighting over we're fighting over thought, ideas,
Oh
things that
yeah,
aren't things that aren't material, like they don't have a material form. Like we still like we fight over petty things like how a person thinks, what a person
yeah,
believes in, and you know we all know, and anyone
yeah,
listening knows how deep that rabbit hole can get in topics. But you know, it just goes to show you like that's the craziest thing that outside of fighting for land, like you said, we really just fight over each other's ideas and philosophies and outlooks on how the world ought to be,
yeah.
Yeah.
and that's fucking crazier. That's crazy in and of itself. It's
Well, like us
psychotic.
going to the Middle East trying to change those people, they don't want to change.
Yeah.
That's the way
They
they
don't
want to
have,
be.
yeah, they didn't have to and they didn't want to and they
You just
didn't.
killed a bunch of people
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
And
made them
now
mad
they
at
hate
us.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they hate you more for it
because
now.
you blew their wedding up or killed their dad or
Yeah, all those teenagers and stuff, they're gonna grow up and be soldiers in the next
they're
wave
grown.
of they're gonna have a bone to pick with a country. But, you know, it just goes to show you that
They
well, I
actually
mean,
pulled one out of a trunk recently. He crossed the border with a smuggler in Mexico, and they pulled him out of a trunk, and he was on the FBI's terrorist watch list right there in the trunk of a car coming into America.
Jesus.
He was on all the list. Like, if you see this guy, keep him. We got to get him. You know, he's up some
he
bad
was
shit.
he was the list. You know?
He's like, I have a particular set of skills.
It's like, uh-huh.
and while movies like Stalingrad are fascinating in taking a look back in how the world was at one point and the similarities that we still hold with it, it's just that reminder that, war is shit. They're like you can't f- you can't fetishize it.
Yeah, right.
You really can't.
Yeah.
If you can, and if you're someone that does,
That I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yeah.
that's that
Yeah.
gun ho cowboy lifestyle like that, man. I think that's more bullshit than anything.
Yeah. Well, and it
Like,
goes to show you that like look at the perspective of people that are a little bit younger than us that are so willing to die on these hills of things that don't matter and they don't understand the repercussions of certain actions that they take that could lead to something where it's like, oh, you want to fight for something that is going to inevitably breed itself out of existence. That's the thing about an idea. If enough people support an idea, then the opposition is going to breed itself out. It may take time, but how many people's dying for something to be bred out? You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Like that's just the reality of it, you know? And it's like I don't get it, man. Like I don't understand. Like I value human life. Like if I think something different than someone else, we can have a conversation about it. We can argue about it. But I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to kill you, and I'm not going to go to war against you because you think something different than me. Because at the end of the day, the cream always rises and the majority always wins. So like just let it be what it is, man. I don't know. It's frustrating.
and yeah, it is. It truly is because I mean, we're watching events in our current time unfold that aren't good in any capacity. Um, like we're in a time period where all the right ingredients are there for a powder keg,
Yes, for sure.
and wondering which person or which country is going to be the one ballsy enough to flick a cigarette butt at it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, the powder keg that we've got is going to take out, a good portion of the world and then gonna render another good portion of the world unlivable for forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the powder kegs that we're dealing with here at this point, you know? So, but for the movie though, I hate to say that I enjoyed it because I
Yeah,
didn't,
it's
you
it
know?
was a good, but I give the
It
movie a
was
star,
yes,
not the
but it
war,
no, no, not the
Well,
but
war.
I did
well,
enjoy the movie.
yeah, like
Like it was nice
because
to see that take.
it puts the viewer in the awkward position, especially as this movie gets older and the audiences get more and more dumbed down with what World War II actually was and how significant fucked up it was.
Yeah,
Um, it highlights that it's not a trope, but I'm going to use that as the word for it. It's the trope that the camaraderie of your battalion and the brotherhood type thing that gets formed
Yeah,
amongst the people you're stationed with, it's universal in all military. It's part of the doctrine, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And whether you're an allied or an Axis soldier, it doesn't matter. Like that's there.
yeah,
Um, History and the people that go on, the conclusion of who right or wrong is, that's left for future generations to decide. And that's the
yeah,
frightening part of war.
yeah, right.
Because in this period of time, you know, because that's one of the disturbing aspects of Nazi Germany is that there were people who were adamantly for it. They weren't in the military. They were, just average Joes. They
yeah.
were okay. They were down with it.
Well,
Yeah,
seeing those guys in that tent when they were, and they're in there, they got like cognac and it's warm. They got cigars,
yeah,
and they're like,
Well, very
we're
similar
pretty
to
much
how you'd
fucked,
see.
guys. I mean, they knew they were fucked, but send
yeah,
them in anyway. I mean, 300,000, you got less than 4,000 coming home. But it's like, why don't your ass get out there and fight
yeah,
since you want it
exactly.
so bad?
Um,
Yeah,
but I think this is probably easily one of the top five horrors of war films, like
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, I
man.
think the next one's gonna be pretty bad too.
Yeah,
Just a little bit that I saw of it was just the beginning. It was like,
yeah,
but that's war.
Yeah, because
I mean,
yeah, I mean, to quote Ron Perlman, man, war never changes.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing, man. Like, I think that this movie should be shown in
for
school,
sure. Oh yeah.
unedited, uncut, because, like, back to what Trav was saying a minute ago, it's like it's for future generations to decide. Look at everything that they're trying to scrub.
Well, and just reading about that doesn't do it justice. You don't
Exactly.
really picture these motherfuckers out here freezing to death. That one dude that was sitting by the truck, they pushed him, he just fell over,
Yeah,
frozen solid.
Now,
yeah,
as Hollywood as it is, I would say a person should absolutely sit through, like, if they were going to be like, hey, highlight highlight World War II in under 5 hours, I would say watch Saving Private Ryan and then watch Stalingrad.
yeah,
You have a Western Front perspective, and then you have a German Front perspective.
yeah,
Not Western, but yeah, you know what I mean.
You could also watch the new one from the Russians' point of view,
yeah.
Yeah.
full circle.
Or I would say instead of that, I'd say, wasn't Hacksaw Ridge World War II?
I
Or was
believe
that
so.
one?
I think it was 2.
I
I
still
think
haven't watched that.
dude, it's
That's
so good.
it's a fantastic movie, dude.
Yeah,
Andrew
it is.
Garfield acts his ass off in that movie.
I
Yeah.
remember all the
Vince
praise it
Vaughn.
got.
Vince Vaughn as well playing strict straight man.
Um, yeah. Garfield plays a field medic, Adam, and he goes through this whole fucking movie, bro, not firing a gun once.
Yeah. He's Christian.
Now, yeah,
Yeah.
he's only down to fucking get the buddies up. He's full support.
Yeah.
And watching the shit he pulls off, because that the whole thing all throughout the movie, man, his fellow soldiers are like, "You're fucking stupid for not wielding a gun. Like you're in a war zone, you fucking idiot." And he's like, "Man, God tells me differently." and and dude, he fucking goes through with it, man.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, it was a great movie. We need to throw that on the pile at some point. We need to do a war film. A war film. Let's see, what would be good for that? Well, let's do it in June, right? Isn't that when Pearl Harbor is? June the 4th or June the 5th? No. Pearl
No,
Harbor's
that
in
was no.
December.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
Well, that makes
speech.
What
us
was
war film
no,
winner.
was
December.
that
Yeah, war film winner,
I
dude.
mean,
what was it D-Day that was in June?
I think so.
yeah, I think.
Okay. Okay. But anyway, like we should do war films
Yeah, the ones we
one
haven't
month.
covered, like, I'll look into the other Stalingrad and see if it's any
Oh, dude,
good.
we could call
Possibly
it
watch that.
World War June.
If the world's still here by then.
Yeah, for real, right?
If we're not
might
in
be
an
making our
actual
own
World
movie.
War.
Yeah.
Right.
Shit.
And here's the thing, man. There's still some great ones out there to watch, but man, we have watched some pretty killer bangers on the topic.
Yeah, right.
Um, yeah, I definitely think not 1917 was that was such a surprise for me at how
Mhm.
good that movie ended up being.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, man, this like I can't get over how well shot this movie was, like in terms of just like as on a cinematic scale.
Yeah.
I do agree with Adam though that it was kind of jarring the way the cuts would be, but there's something telling me that it was purposeful.
Oh, I'm sure they did it on purpose. What I was
No, I
saying
mean,
was when it happened, I thought something was wrong with
yeah,
the copy I was watching. Because
no,
it just
but
cut the guy off
honestly,
while he was talking and swapped. So
yeah.
that's what I
Well,
was
see,
saying.
I honestly, okay, I
Yeah.
honestly thought that like that it might have been a case of like just janky '90s editing.
Yeah.
But full star.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not for the faint of heart, but
It's pretty
it's
gory.
definitely worth a watch. Yeah.
It gets the full coveted. Well, it's not coveted. No one wants it. It gets the real state Iron Cross.
Oh my god. Oh
It's
my
the
God.
it's the award only a movie like this could have.
Anyway, The Last of Us.
Come on now. Come on. Yeah, y'all know my intentions here. It's a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
The Last
Transitioning
of
to a
Us was
fucked up
fucked up.
show.
Dude, this horde that
Dude,
comes
Was
just
so fucking
rolling.
cool.
Yeah.
it turned into a video game.
Yeah, it did. I thought that we were gonna watch the entire thing from their perspective, leading up to that moment that left off at the last episode. I thought that we were gonna get that full story, but I am glad that they weaved it in. Like once we got the Henry, what was happening, the
Yeah.
all that good stuff. So,
I
but it
love
was
when they do that shit and not just like like in movies and stuff where when it takes the the side thing and fucking it weaves itself like you're saying.
yeah,
I always like that where it builds up to where they recreate a certain shot again, but you're like, oh, this dude was over there,
yeah,
like so a lot of time travel movies do that.
right. But yeah, it was to see Henry and his brother like getting which I mean, dude, like probably not a good guy. Might have been a good guy, maybe doing what he was taught. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that's up for debate. We don't get enough backstory there. But dude, she wanted him dead,
Well,
like dead, dead, deader than dead. You know what I
and I
mean?
could see where she was coming from. It's like,
Oh yeah,
well, why
yeah,
does your brother get to live and mine's got to die to save yours? Like,
yeah. But but yeah, I liked how it showed them kind of having that awkward moment where it's like, do we trust each other? Like, do we help each other? What do we do here? What are we gonna, you know, that was really well done, and I really like that a lot. And then it just builds up to this like impressive showdown at the end where like the swarm comes in and just wipes everybody out, dude. And you got Joel up there in the tower sniping, dude. Just popping
let them
shots.
have it.
Yeah. And that was a part of the game. You had to do that a couple of times where Ellie would be doing something and you had to cover with the sniper, whether it be the infected that you're trying to hold off, or people that you're trying to hold off from getting to her and stuff. So
Mhm.
it was very spot on in that regard. But that big dude that came out,
Damn,
I mean, he ripped that dude's head
he
off.
did.
He's like, "You go, I'll stay." And it's like, dude, you're dead,
Well,
right?
here's my thing. It was like, as soon as that shit started happening, why didn't they fucking run?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Run.
I have to agree, Adam. Like when I mean,
Run.
here's the best way to know if your weapon's going to do shit. If the fucking ground shakes when it's walking towards you, don't waste your bullet. Run.
Yeah,
You're not gonna kill it.
yeah.
Like, it is too goddamn big for your bullet to do anything.
And we can't see the bar, so
Yeah.
the
Like,
health bar.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
We don't know how much it's
I'll,
got left.
when that motherfucker rose out of the ground, I immediately, now you say that, I think about like an Elden Ring boss fight initiating. The fucking music swells and you just see the bar show up and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I was sitting there
Well,
like, how the fuck they gonna get out of this? Then that fucking
yeah.
car just went in and was like, oh, that's how.
Yeah, right.
Real actors too, Trev. They said they used in the little like about the episode that plays at the end.
Yeah.
All real people. They said
Wow.
that's why it looks. They said it's hard to recreate that with animation and it looked real.
So
Yeah.
did they? So that kid was like a little contortionist
Yeah.
kid
Yeah.
or whatever.
But what it was
That's
doing was it didn't
crazy.
understand crawling over. Because I was like, why is it falling like that? It's like, oh, well, we know to step over something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crawling. Just,
Yeah.
Well, like just its movements were
yeah.
so creepy, dude.
It,
I was glad that that chick got took out at the end though. I
Yeah.
was sitting there hoping. I was hoping Joel was gonna pick her off in the middle of her like. Tons of kids die.
Yeah. And I
Zip,
like how they
pow,
just
fucking
kept watching it.
yeah.
It
yeah.
was like, run.
Yeah. And then you get to the end where it's like, dude's like, I'm bit. And she's like, it's fine. Rub a
My
little
bud's
blood on it.
medicine.
Yeah.
I'm over here like, I don't know if I'd rub my cut on that or not. I mean,
I was
Yeah.
like, I know that there's a lot of other shows and stuff out there that have very fucked up situations involving children, Hereditary. um, but was not expecting
no.
a show based on a game to go that far.
No.
Um,
But I mean
that was fucked up.
Well, and they nipped it in the butt quick. Like any other
Oh
show, they would have
yeah.
been like, oh, no, they're going to travel together for a while.
Oh
yeah.
no.
This one was
Yeah,
like,
right.
mm-mm.
Was not expecting dude to turn the gun on himself.
Yeah.
I get why he did it,
I
though.
I started getting the vibes when he was just standing there. I'm like, oh fuck, he's
What
in
did I
shock. That's what he's like.
What did I
He
just do?
reactionary like he killed the kid out of just knee jerk reaction.
That was fucked up.
And Yeah.
It was very fucked up. It
Like
was good
when
though.
she touched his shoulder and he went, ah, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
They just
Run.
bust out of that door.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. Love it
I
though.
think
Can't
I
wait.
as
yeah.
the
Like,
well, what's crazy is like, isn't it weird how like once again double dose of fucking depressing? Because going back to the movie, like when they're in the fucking bar and the dude blows his fucking brains out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's what, 3.
Like there was a lot of suicide in the stuff we watched this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
A lot.
I think
If
they're
that's
only doing
this
9
is 9.
episodes.
You know, and what's weird? Here's what's strange about that. It says 9 episodes on the list, but when you look at Pedro and the girls' IMDb thing there, they're titled at 10 episodes. So I don't know if they've already shot
Yeah, they may have
the
already
first
started
one or the
shooting
second
them.
one. I don't know why it
Yeah.
says that, but it just say 9. But on their thing, it says 10,
Yeah.
that they're in 10
Uh,
episodes. But it's
unless
moving
they
right
decide
along.
Yeah, unless they decided to like combine the last 2 episodes into one.
Ah,
If
I
they
bet that's it.
if they do what they did in the game, like the end of the game, you can't stop playing it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
of course, you can, but you don't want to because there's just so much stuff happening and you're trucking right along. So the last like 3 or 4 hours of the game, you really work to get it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because it's that good. There's a lot of stuff happening right there.
Well,
So,
they
so
show the trailer for the next episode too, right before they show the sneak preview, and we're definitely about to get a change of scenery.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
so so Griffin, with you having played the game, were kind of like with the Offerman and dude in a few episodes back. Was the two supporting characters in this episode was that an elaboration or was that actually a moment that happens in the game?
I'm pretty sure that that was an actual
I
moment.
think so, and they made the kid deaf. That wasn't in the game. And that's
No.
just imagine being in this world and can't hear.
Yeah.
They said they thought that would add to it.
Yeah.
They made him deaf. Like whenever the gun starts shooting and he makes him get down, and he's like, "What is it? What's going on?" Like
Yeah.
he's just constantly looking at his brother's face to see if he should be scared or not.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely had some instances. They they had a moment in the game that was very similar. It wasn't the same, but it was very similar to how everything was in the show. So,
Well, once again, man, I have to say it's been refreshing watching something that's an adaptation and not being necessarily familiar with the source material.
well, and not only that, but it's very refreshing to watch something that is zombie related that don't suck.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we watched Train to Busan February of last year, part of Foreign Film February, but that
And ha-
movie had been out for a long time,
and
you
still
know?
though I believe after that and I think maybe the bar we didn't really fuck with zombies again with the podcast
Yeah, until The
until
Last of
we
Us.
yeah.
I mean, 'cause it's they're played out to and it's amazing what good writing 'cause we're what, 4 episodes into The Last of Us, and they've done more in these 4 episodes of The Last of Us than they did in, like, 6 seasons of The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's insane, man.
Oh, absolutely agreed.
So but we got a little bit of movie news here. I didn't wanna so we had the Super Bowl, so we've got Super Bowl trailers to go into, and a lot of the stuff that is on the movie news side of the world has to do with, like, the Super Bowl trailers,
Mm-hmm.
especially the Flash stuff. But there are a couple of things that I thought was interesting. So the French government slams Black Panther Wakanda Forever for deceptive representation. So Black Panther yeah. It hits all the right notes with MCU fans, but despite the success of the movie, that hasn't stopped it attracting criticism from some unexpected quarters, namely French ones. As per Politico, the French authorities are less than pleased with the way the country's armed forces are portrayed in the 2022 hit. During the events that take place in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, one scene sees the Dora Milaje presenting a group of French soldiers to the United Nations, and the seemingly harmless appearance has caused a lot of grievances from France's Minister of the Armed Forces, Sebastian uh, Lacrano, I don't know, who aired his annoyance at the movie on Twitter. The translation of his tweet reads, "I strongly condemn this false and deceptive representation of our armed forces. I am thinking of and honoring the 58 French soldiers who died defending Mali, uh, at it at its request in the face of Islamist terrorist groups."
It's a movie.
It,
It's a
I
movie.
mean, I
You know what I
mean,
mean? It's a
yeah,
comic
yeah,
book movie.
yeah,
Wakanda's
uh,
not a real place.
yeah, right. It is noted by journalist Jean Bexon, whose tweet was shared by this dude, that the uniform worn by the prisoners in the movie are almost the same as those worn by French forces in the operation that Lecorn references. Obviously, the events of the MCU are all entirely fictional, but it seems that the story of other countries, including the French invading Wakanda in an attempt to steal their stores of vibranium, have been taken in a completely unexpected context by the French authorities. With the story heavily centered on power struggles and global communities, there is nothing personal about the use of French soldiers in this scene, and the wider picture does include other nationalities within this narrative. In the world that we live in right now, would you be surprised if France declared war on Wakanda? You know what I mean?
Dude, if
Like,
you're gonna run a country, you need to have thicker skin than that. Like,
yeah, for
it's
real.
a movie, dude. They made the U.S. look like shitheads too. I mean,
Yeah,
we were right
exactly.
in there
Right.
with them.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's
That's,
okay. That's always done, right? We
yeah.
do that all the
Yeah.
time. That's fine.
I just thought that was so funny. Like, so interesting that I was like, Jesus Christ, come on, man.
John Cena fucking follows everybody, dude.
I know, right?
Everyone.
Yeah. I've been waiting for him to follow me.
Yeah, I keep hoping. I'm like, come on, dude, you're
Yeah.
following 500,000 people.
Yeah. I
I
know we
think when
can't
they
see
make
you,
new
but
accounts, if it's someone notable, they're like, you instantly get, it's like being followed by Tom on MySpace.
yeah,
You get a John Cena
right.
follow.
Yeah, right. Damn it, I got to make a new
I
account
mean, you
then.
name it, like OnlyFans girls, he'll be
Yeah.
following them. And it's like, okay.
He likes women,
Yeah.
allegedly. So I don't know if he does or not, but
That article that you just read sounds like it came from The Onion.
yeah, right.
Like,
It's
how
stranger
bizarre.
than yeah, yeah. So next up here, another real Scooby-Doo animated movie scrapped as Velma renewal rumors continue. There's probably never been so much attention on the Scooby-Doo franchise as there is right now. The only issue is that none of it's resulting in the appearance of the scaredy cat canine. While reports have continued to circulate of Scooby-Doo inspired Velma having a second season in development, it seems that Warner Brothers Discovery quietly abandoned another new animated movie based on the franchise late last year. In an appearance with YouTubers JB and Millie, the storyboard artist behind Scooby Doo Haunted High Rise has revealed in length how the new animated feature was deep in production before having the plug pulled, just like Scoob Holiday Hunt. So Scoob was the last animated where he was a pup, right? That's where we see Shaggy and Scooby meeting for the first time.
Yeah, they're like on the beach and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So this is what she had to say about it. I think the Haunted High Rise was even funnier than the first because we had the Hex Girls and new songs, and we pulled out all the stops. We had motorcycle chases throughout the hallways. Joe
Hmm.
called me and said, "Has the studio been in touch with you?" And I said, "No. I think this was the beginning of October." And he said, "Oh, Well, somebody should be reaching out to you. I'm afraid it got shelved and it's a financial decision. And I think Warner Brothers is getting a tax credit for shelving it and canceling it. So it's dead, dead, dead. I think because of the merger with Discovery. They just took a look at everything that was going to be going into streaming, everything that was going to be going into HBO Max, and just drew a red line through everything, figured out how much they spent. Do you know the saddest part is it would have cost the same to shelve it as it would to make it because it was already lock, picture, and in animation. That was another reason for them doing the 2 movies back to back, because they had an animation studio they could be feeding work to. It seems so sad since it's already so close, but I do not understand the politics or how financial decisions at Warner Brothers gets made. But I don't think they're going to resuscitate this. My producer keeps saying he doesn't think it's going to come back to life, but maybe, who knows? It was locked picture, all dialogue, songs were recorded, it was ready for animation. So and this is a continuation. How Warner Brothers Discovery recently missed the mark with the Scooby Doo IP. On the surface and in the eyes of many fans of the franchise, Warner Brothers Discovery have done a massive disservice to the 50-year-old IP. The scrapping of Holiday Hunt and now Haunted High Rise has been has been only made worse by the potential news or threat, depending on your opinion, that the heavily criticized series Velma could still be moving forward with a second season. It seems that while the tax write off season seems to be over for Warner Brothers Discovery, there could still be a number of unknown projects that were abandoned in the latter part of 2022 that are still unknown. However, in a time of YouTubers and social media, it is clear that their existence will be made known at some point.
I'm not sure when that article was, the attack on one, but it's in development. Season 2 of Velma, the most hated show of all time. Gonna get another season.
How?
It's happening. You know, here's the thing though, like apparently a lot of people watched it to hate on it. Well, it pulled views still.
Yeah.
It had people watching it just to see how bad it was.
So people were hate viewing it.
Yeah.
Basically. Here's the thing though, man, like people watch this to see how bad that it was, just to
Yeah.
see what all the buzz was about. How do the people at Warner Brothers base decisions off of that, knowing that if they greenlight a sequel,
Mm-hmm.
like a sequel series, a follow-up series, it's not gonna net a tenth of what that first
No,
season
the hype will be
it's
gone. It'll all be.
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And you gonna fucking can Scooby Doo?
yeah, exactly,
Like
right?
the character?
It's just that's bad decision making. I don't know who made that decision. I don't know if Zaslav had anything to do with that, but like he got out good with what they did with Velma because of how hated it was.
Yeah.
He should have cut the money, he should have cut the money and run at that point. Like, just be done with it right
Well,
there.
remember
But
the trailer we watched where they were like, hey, if you don't like this show, you're probably, this or that, or
yeah,
there
yeah,
may be fear of canceling it after one. And it's like, but everybody hates it.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
everyone's agreed
Yeah,
that, you know what I mean?
right.
I don't think it'll go past 2.
Definitely not. And my thing too is like, what if something, and we've seen this happen quite a bit, in the past couple of weeks. What if something does happen where it's like you have a mass exodus of HBO Max subscribers? I mean, we saw it with Netflix. We saw it with Dungeons and Dragons. Like we've seen it happen more frequently. What if people are like, look, if you're going to spend money on this crap,
They're
then
like,
we're
as soon
we're
as The Last of Us is over, we're done, Because
yeah, right.
they hang it in until after that. They're like,
Yeah.
3 more episodes.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just crazy that something that is that bad. Well, no, it's not crazy. I mean, look at how
No.
long Walking Dead ran.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just crazy that we can't get like an authentic Scooby Doo anything over whatever that is, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So it is what it is. So Tom Holland's Spider-Man return teased by Marvel bosses. So Spider-Man No Way Home left Peter Parker free from being a local celebrity again, with Spider-Man's identity once again a secret after Doctor Strange erased him from the memory of the MCU. Where does Tom Holland's web slinger go from here? The only person who really knows is Kevin Feige, and he recently teased that the story for Spider-Man 4 is currently being written. Speaking with Entertainment Weekly, this is what he had to say. All I will say is that we have the story, we have big ideas for that, and our writers are just putting pen to paper now. For a short while, it was unclear if Peter Parker would be returning to the MCU, but of course, you cannot keep out Marvel's biggest money spending character. While there are plenty of contractual tangles with Sony Pictures, and it is still unclear where their Spider Man universe is leading, any doubts over Tom Holland's Spider Man future in the MCU can firmly be put to rest. However, with Feige suggesting that work on the script for the next Spider Man movie has just started, we shouldn't expect to see Tom Holland back on screen for some time yet. There is a high likelihood that Holland will be back before his next solo outing as part of Phase Six's Avengers movies. But where Avengers Secret Wars leaves him could play a big role in exactly where his next adventure picks up his story. As has been made clear by Feige, there are currently many plates spinning and many more stories coming in time, and Spider Man is just one part of the ever growing tapestry. And I've also seen rumors that, and this kind of feeds into the next part of this. So Spider-Man No Way Home brought back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in their iteration of Peter Parker, and neither actor has ruled out a potential return in the future. Tobey Maguire in particular has certainly expressed a desire to replace his role at least one more time. He previously said, I love these films and I love all the different series. If these guys called me and said, would you show up tonight to hang out and goof around, or would you show up to do this movie or read a scene or do a Spider-Man thing, it would be a yes because why wouldn't I want to do that? So there have been rumors that like maybe Secret Wars
Mm-hmm.
may have Toby Maguire, but I've also saw a lot more rumors going around that Toby Maguire's Spider-Man may actually show up in Deadpool Wolverine.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So from the rumors that I have seen, which rumors, which Feige did come out and say that Ant-Man was the most important Marvel movie since um Endgame, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that Ant-Man is going to be the most important and the next most important film is going to be Deadpool because Deadpool is going to show the ripple effect that all of this has across all of the different multiverses. And so that could be where we get, you know, whatever version of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and we may get Spider-Man played by Tobey Maguire, and we may get some other characters from other things like Thomas Jane's Punisher. So, you know what I mean? Like that we could see a lot of cameos in Deadpool just showing the fallout of whatever's going on in the wider scope of the story at that point is doing. So I wouldn't be mad if they brought Tobey Maguire back again, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Uh,
next up, Marsha. Oh, go ahead, Trev. Sorry.
uh, oh no, 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 no. I want like so do you guys even remember what Holland's original contract was for? Like how many appearances of Spider-Man he was contractually obligated?
It was before it was before Infinity War? Is that right? No. It
I
was
don't remember.
before it was he had a contractual obligation to do the 2 Spider-Man movies and then the crossovers, which would have been 5.
So the negotiation is what got us to get No Way Home, right?
Right. And
Okay.
any future, reprisals,
I,
whatever that
honest- I
contract said.
mean, I would say, Spider-Man is in a good spot now where they left him. We got the whole story, but we got it back to where Spider-Man's just out in New York doing Spider-Man shit again.
Yeah.
And with that bookmark and the Spider-Man story being where it's at, I would say, considering how dicey it is to get him to show up in the Marvel films, I would say approach that negotiating table only when needed. Because now that we've gotten a origin event, now that we actually had an arc with Spider-Man, as a comic fan, I want him to I want to be like, dude, just keep going the distance because we're getting close to like an authentic on-screen like thing where Spider-Man's rolling with the Fantastic Four and they're fighting like shit that we thought we would never get, much less
Right.
Thanos.
Yeah.
And now that we've got it, just use them when needed.
Yeah.
And we don't, as much as I would love more Spider-Man stuff, I'm kind of happy with that we got what we got, and I don't want the quality to dip.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%, man. And it's almost like you don't want to I don't think that you could, but you don't want to oversaturate Spider-Man.
The Sony, I feel like Sony is actively doing that.
Yeah. I
They're
know.
doing it to where the MCU Spider-Man won't yield, like the numbers won't look as bad.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if everyone's like, oh, another Spider-Man story, it'll all kind of, I feel like it would all plateau if you look at a graph.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. So Marshall Ali's Blade reboot set to start filming this summer. So Marvel Studios' upcoming Blade movie starring Marshall Ali has been through a number of changes behind the scenes, causing it to be temporarily postponed. After a brief setback, filming is moving forward with Jan Demange, director of Lovecraft Country, leading to production. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige recently sat down with Entertainment Weekly to discuss the recently wrapped up Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the just started Phase 5, and the future of the massive media enterprise. Marvel announced its highly anticipated Blade movie with Bassam Tariq as the director at the 2019 San Diego Comic Con. Production was scheduled to commence in November of the same year. However, due to a series of changes in production schedule, Tariq withdrew from the project, leading to its postponement. During the interview, one of the questions asked was whether progress has been made on Blade due to be released in September 2024. Feige confirmed that filming for the movie is set to begin in Atlanta within the next few weeks. According to the company's president, the project's newly appointed director, Jan Demange, was on location in Atlanta with cameras preparing to roll. Michael Starberry, well, the Emmy nominated writer of When They See Us, has also been hired to write the movie script, replacing Bo DeMayo. Despite stepping down as director, Bassam Tariq remains attached to the project as executive producer. Other updates include Delroy Lindo and Aaron Pierre joining the cast in the lead roles. Let's see. Who are these guys?
There's a part of me that I really I wish that the Blade stuff would just like the articles would just dry up for a while. Like, like as much as we're obviously going to always follow this particular one with a keen eye because one landed a great lead actor,
Yeah.
and director.
and
Yeah.
secondly, to people our age and much older, like this is a pretty significant movie that they're incorporating into the MCU.
Yeah. Blade means a lot.
Yeah, like
I'm
it
glad they're
was one
taking
of
their time then.
Yeah.
it's
Let's
Yeah.
yeah,
not
it's
rush
one of the
this.
like it was one of my all-time favorite just action movies as a kid.
Yeah. For
Like
sure.
I, I remember I couldn't see it. I wasn't able to go see it in theaters because rated R. But I always remember that I faked being sick on a Tuesday so that I could go rent this. It It was crazy. It was probably I could have won an Academy Award. Like I for real, dude. I went through all the things I needed to be able to stay home and found a way to rent a copy of Blade on VHS, and I sat there and watched that movie like 3 fucking times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I was gonna say I've probably seen. You know, they came out kind of around the same time,
Yeah.
not super close, but Blade and the Matrix, dude.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I've probably watched Blade more than the Matrix,
Oh,
Same.
dude. I've probably
like
seen
a
him and
lot.
Steven Dorff square off in that weird ass room so many times.
Yeah.
Like
Fucking skin that
I,
smoke wagon.
that fucking the way he kicks that serum at the end, he kicks it in the dude's head, he does the spin kick,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he hits the ground and he goes, "There's always motherfuckers trying to ice skate uphill."
But you know, we read the article where they were like, whenever that Werewolf by Night came out, they were like, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
We might be
Yeah.
able to get a little darker. I mean, motherfuckers love that shit. It's
Yeah.
like, of course we love it.
Yeah. Make
Well,
it
like
for us.
I'm really digging the way that they're separating all these different aspects of like there's the supernatural Marvel, there's cosmic Marvel, there's just
Yeah.
earth-based Marvel. I like that
The
they're
Marvel.
dabbling with all of it. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel Ali, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for it, man. And it does like the way that they handle the Blade movie is going to say a lot, just because of the significance to our lives growing up. And
Well, to
I,
the company, man, even like fandom aside,
yeah,
um, like this movie saved Marvel Studios.
yeah, right. Yeah,
Um, like they hedged all their bets on it, and by by just the fact that the stars aligned and Wesley Snipes was able to execute the role and make the movie entertaining, and just every all the entire cast involved, you know, it brought Marvel back from the dead.
yeah,
Like they had sold all the rights to their characters. I think they were about to file bankruptcy,
yeah,
and they just hedged all their bets on Blade, and it fucking paid off in droves, man.
yeah. Chris Christopherson, dude, who would have thought?
Oh,
You
dude, that
know?
dude, this the Batcave moment. You know where you roll up at the
Yeah,
headquarters, you're like, it's the Batcave moment. Like whenever, like the shot of Blade walking in, and he's just back there welding, fucking CCR's blaring as loud as a motherfucker, you know.
yeah,
And who can forget, dude, the fucking bloodbath sequence.
yeah,
And he shows up and he just cleans fucking house, dude. Like whenever I saw that when I saw that scene for the first time, I was like, "Yes, I will
yeah,
have more of this."
yeah. More of
I'm
this.
glad I'm glad this is only like 20 minutes in. You mean to tell me there's still a whole other hour?
Yeah, right. So last up here, Marvel's Moon Knight Rider has joined DC's new universe. So, in a recent interview with Gizmodo, DC Studios' new co CEOs James Gunn and Peter Safran shared further details on their upcoming collection of DC projects. Among the news is that Jeremy Slater, Marvel's Moon Knight Rider, is part of the team working on the new stories. Following the announcement of DC's upcoming film and television lineup, Gunn revealed that he works with a team of writers that includes renowned Comics writer Tom King. Uh, Crystal Henry, one of the writers on Watchmen, Christina Hodson, who participated in writing The Flash, Drew Goddard, and Slater. Aside from Moon Knight, Slater's works include films like Fantastic Four and Death Note, and television shows like The Exorcist and Netflix Emmy nominated The Umbrella Academy. Slater won't be the only writer who has worked with both DC and Marvel. Mark Waid, among many others, is an American comic book writer best known for his work on DC Comics, The Flash, Kingdom Come, and Superman, Birthright, as well as Marvel's Captain America, Fantastic Four, and Daredevil. In the same interview, Gunn was asked how the DCU is different from the MCU, to which he answered, I think that we have a lot of differences. I think that one of the reasons why I love DC is it really is another universe. It's an alternate world. In Marvel generally it's New York, Chicago, San Francisco, and then every place else in the world is a fictional universe for some reason. Here at DCU we have Metropolis and Gotham, Themyscira and Atlantis, and all of that is sort of another fictional universe, and this is the world that we're creating. Gunn added that that creating this new project is stepping into a world where the superhero characters exist already. He said that this project is more planned out than Marvel from the beginning, and that is because of the group of writers who are already or who are working together to write that story out completely. He continued to compare the new DC universe to Star Wars and said it was similar to having different times, places, and things. He also compared the DCU to Game of Thrones regarding the moral complexities of the characters. Gunn's reason for wanting to take on this project was to look at the DC characters. He mentioned how it had been a messed up road for many of them in recent years. Gunn said, I can't go into politics, can't do anything with science. So the only thing I can do for this planet is to create stories about love. And that's what I think that we can do over the next 8 to 10 years. Safran and Gunn's goals for the new DC universe are broad, and they are attempting to reboot and readjust DC movies, TV shows, games, and more.
W on
So,
the rider.
so
Yeah.
I have a theory. Um, all right. So, in a very coincidental fashion, the DC movies and shows parallel the comics so so drastic to the extent that it mirrors it. Because at one point DC was very disjointed. There was no true continuity. Everything was everywhere. Like it was just a mess. Well, part of what streamlined that was the Crisis on Infinite Earths event.
Right.
And what that did was it condensed all these different stories down to the 52, the new 52. And if I'm not mistaken, the 52 it was representative not only like the weekly episodic release of the comic um for like a year or whatever, but if I'm not mistaken in DC lore, 52 is also how many actual universes there are.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's 52 unique universes that are surrounded by the source wall, and that's the edge of the universe. Like that's it. Like it gets all meta and shit out of that and all that stuff. But for the most part, like when he says it's a different universe, it is. There's a multiverse, but that multiverse is finite.
Right.
Whereas in the MCU, they've had a streamlined continuity to the degree where they can just do what the fuck ever and go, oh, okay, we're on Earth. We have a numbering system, so we're just gonna say you're from Earth 9073 CY, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm saying all this to say that I feel like James Gunn, do you think he's ballsy enough to create that in a live action setting?
I think that if the funding is right, he's ballsy enough to build up to it, and depending on how the audience shows out and supports it, will determine whether he's going to be ballsy enough to actually do it or not.
Well, the reason I say that is because think about how he's even like because from the horse's mouth, the way they've even plotted how the story is going to go. We're getting these last couple of transitional movies. We're going to get Flash reboot the universe, which is awfully similar to the Crisis event of Crisis on Infinite Earths, even though we're going to use the Flashpoint story points.
Yeah.
What if that's like when we get we get a new whenever the reboot happens and we get Superman Legacy, you know, are we going to get a working of that in where like not necessarily like they come out and go, oh man, 52 universes, like we have like these little moments where maybe some scientists is figuring shit out, and we get to a moment where it's like, oh man, DC's gonna go to their multiverse stuff again, and then like they hard pivot and they're like, yeah, we might, but we're just gonna jump to this universe for a second.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with him already establishing the notion that like the Matt Reeves Batman's going to exist in
It's
the
an
Elseworld,
Elseworld, yeah, which
and
is
then
fucking awesome.
yeah, and the Joker is going to exist in its own Elseworld. He's already building up to something like that, and it's not far fetched to think that like in 5 or 10 years, if he wanted to, Snyder could come back and finish his story out, and it be considered an Elseworld tale at that point as if Flashpoint never happened, however they decided to do it and finish his story out completely. Like it's he's setting it up to where there's a fail safe. If they fuck it up bad enough, then the next people can fix it, basically.
And
That's
I
that
mean, that's the
that
best way to handle that problem, though.
yeah, for sure. So but I'm glad that he's tackling everything from this perspective as we're DC, we own all the rights to all of our characters. We don't have to build up to anything because we know comic book movies are popular and going to net us money. So we're just going to create a world where everything and all these characters already exist, and we're just going to run with it.
And see, cutting the chuff of an origin story, especially with the more A-list superheroes,
Yeah,
I think we're at that point now where not every film has to be like mild-mannered Timmy started his day like every other until he became Super Timmy.
well, with him combining not only film, but also animation, video games, and television series, he has that opportunity to create a movie that has a character in it. And if that character gets enough buzz and people want that origin story, they can make an animated movie. They can make a TV series that's like,
But
uh,
but that in itself, that's its greatest strength, but also its greatest weakness too, man, because you know how much of how much of the other mediums is going to be required to fully enjoy the major story? Like, how are they going to go with that? Because even the MCU has kind of like I feel like for the most part, if you're watching if you're watching the Phase 4 films right now, and you go into Quantum Mania or even Multiverse of Madness, if you haven't watched WandaVision or Loki, you don't know what the fuck is going on.
yeah,
Like you have a general sense, but there's so much more going on having watched those other material.
yeah.
The character development well, not even character development. Loki sets up the Kang story immediately.
And I think that we're going to get a rehashed alternate version of that in Ant Man.
I've thought about that as well, man. Like,
Yeah,
I wonder how they're gonna condense that down for people who say don't watch the Disney Plus shit. Like, how are they gonna catch them up to speed so that as everyone watching the movies, they're all on at least the same page, same book, same chapter.
yeah. Well, at a certain point, and I think DC is going to be smart enough about this, where at a certain point, you need to establish a threat across all of the properties that you're producing or introduce the threat in the actual team up film because like if I'm Gunn, then I'm going to say, look, if we're going to do a Justice League series and we're going to do, Batman, we're going to do Superman, we're going to do this character, that character, whatever. I'm not going to introduce a threat and like weave this through line through all of the properties. I'm just going to have here's Justice League with the people that's been cast for these characters, and the threat is going to make its appearance there. Like you lose that building over time, but you also don't have to worry about people getting fatigued like they're
Well,
starting to get now.
well, with that, I would argue with what I was saying about the 52 aspect. Those stories, that the timeline wasn't condensed because of a villain per se. Granted, the whole monitor anti-monitor thing that was happening, but subsequently they morphed it to where every so often the DC universe gets filled with something called crisis energy.
Yeah.
And, I know some people liked it, some people didn't, but I think going with what you're saying, that's a great way to introduce that as the hurdle instead of having to weave it for fucking 6 movies.
Yeah, right. I think that they'll have a clear cut vision and like make it to where, some people aren't a fan of animation. A lot of people that watch movies and TV shows don't play video games. If they try to spread this overarching narrative across all their media, they're going to lose a lot of people in the process. So that I'm sure they've
Right.
got a plan in place that's going to be like, okay, like
Yeah.
this is the big bad, and you may see them pop up here and there, but it's going to be not as significant.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if, like, say, in their video games, they'll maybe take a major conflict from one of the movies and maybe just have that be background, kind
Yeah,
of how, kind of how in the Netflix stuff, they even though it wasn't connected wholly to the MCU, the Daredevil, Jessica Jones stuff, the common thread they all had was that the battle in New York from the Avengers, that absolutely happened. That was what cemented them to the MCU.
right.
And so I wonder if that's, that could be something that they do. And part of me thinks that the world engine sequence of Man of Steel is going to constantly be shown. Like they're going to that's a linchpin moment for some reason, I think.
Yeah. Well, I
Because
mean, we see it in the Flash trailer.
we've seen that angle, so we've seen that shot, that whole situation unfolding several fucking times over
Right.
over at least 2 or 3 different movies.
Yeah.
We saw it through when the first time we saw it was Superman's perspective. Second time was Bruce Wayne's, and like you were saying, like it shows up in the Flash trailer, like so that's got to be one of many Flash points, I guess.
Right. But yeah, speaking of trailers, we got
Well,
a
well,
ton of them.
yeah, for real, and I'm excited. And before we deviate, I guess to wrap that conversation up, though, like I feel like I need to go back and watch Moon Knight again. I feel like that it's gonna get swept under the rug because there's just so much Marvel content now, and I don't know. I want to watch it again. Do we have any idea about when season 2 of Moon Knight will come out,
They
or if
haven't
that's
announced
even a
it or
thing?
anything.
Yeah. They haven't announced anything on it
Like
yet.
what that article just said was that the writer for Moon Knight's going over to work at DC now. So
Yeah.
he may have got tired of sitting around waiting. It's like, well, what are we gonna do? But you have to think too, like there's a lot of shit in the pipeline right now
Yeah.
to come out. Maybe they want to spread it out. Like
Well,
Yeah.
what would be cool? What would be great was that even if they don't option for a show, I think they could pull off one
it's
good
definitely gonna
movie
be connected. Yeah,
that could tell us that last little bit about the personality reveal we got at the end.
I mean, I think that they're gonna wrap it. They're the I think they're gonna pull Moon Knight, Blade,
yeah.
Werewolf by Night, Man Thing. I think they're gonna pull all
Was it
that.
Black
You think we'll
Knight?
get the you think we'll
Yeah.
get the Midnight Suns?
Yeah, I think that that'll be the direction because with the popularity of Moon Knight, popularity of Werewolf by Night, and if this Blade movie's a banger, they have no reason not to do that. They would
That'll
be
Right.
be what they're
losing
holding
money.
out for.
It's like
Yeah,
having bread, ham, cheese, and mayonnaise, and going, what do I make with this?
yeah, I'm starving. What am I gonna
Yeah.
eat? Yeah. So is WoW playing Bob Ross?
I'm pretty
Wow.
sure that's That's what this is a Bob Ross movie.
It's a Bob Ross biopic. No
Dude.
matter this says no matter who Owen Wilson plays, I just see Owen Wilson. Wow.
Wow, magenta.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, this easel I bought, it's stellar. But yeah, ready when y'all are.
Same.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Wow.
Of course.
Happy trees.
This kind of looks trippy.
So is this like a loosely based on Bob Ross?
Probably. Yeah, I don't remember that happening.
I
I
kind of want to watch
mean,
it.
it
Did
looks, yeah.
did fucking Anderson direct that? You
It
know what
looks
I mean?
like it.
Like, yeah, right.
Want to touch my sandals?
Yeah. Luther. Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Itney.
The
I'm
fallen
playing
sun.
Luther. Yeah, the sun is going down. It's falling.
His name was Luther.
Shooting star sounded like a pansy.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
All right.
I love
3,
British Elba.
2, 1, play.
Hey,
Belba?
That's what I
for
was.
real though, I've watched some of Luther. He's a bad motherfucker.
He's in jail.
Dude, the trailer for Gears of War looks nuts. He's almost like British Jack Reacher.
Oh, it's Andy Serkis. Yeah.
Okay. On program, dude.
He's come a long way from the mocap guy.
Yeah.
The fuck? $50p.
50 quid, dude. Mm.
Bum.
Looks pretty good. I don't know anything about Luther, but looks like a solid action.
He's I'll put it this way, he's like a good cop that'll kill you.
Mm.
Kind of
Like,
looks. It's one of those two where you could probably just pick it up there. You ain't
Yeah.
gotta watch them all. Like
Absolutely, man.
they'll explain why he's in jail.
Yeah. He killed a lot of people, didn't he? So we got a Nike Nike movie?
Yeah, this is the big Nike Air movie with Chris Tucker, Ben
Matt
Affleck.
Damon. Bateman's in it. Viola Davis. All right, all right, all right. Let's peep this beautiful bean footage.
All right,
A
3,
movie about a shoe.
2, 1, May. You need Michael Jordan. Oh. Motor Rip. And they did.
Yeah.
Wonder who they're going to get to play Michael Jordan. It's Michael Jordan, you know?
Yeah, right.
Just deep fake him, make him look younger. That shoe made him a billionaire.
Yeah.
That logo's iconic. Ooh. It's like, wait till we show you the pump. Wanna
I
jump
want to
higher?
watch that.
Oh,
It's
you know
gonna
it's
be.
going to be good.
I feel like the debate moments between him and Affleck are going to be really good.
Yeah. There's going to be some real there, you know?
Well, like yeah, because they have that homie factor, so
They're
they're going to
so
be able to
close that
Yeah.
they'll be able to dial it in a little harder.
Like, why did you take reindeer games? You played Jason Bourne for 15 years.
I don't know about this, guys. Children of the Corn.
we read an article that they were making it forever ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know that it's kind of, I think it's low budget because it's not
Well, I can't
attached to a
help
big
but
studio.
yeah, I just can't help but like. I kind of feel like I've finally caught up and jumped on the bandwagon of a lot of other movie goers that are just burning out on Stephen King movies.
And his Twitter. I like this comment here where this guy's like, how this hasn't become a musical is beyond me.
I
That
mean,
would be funny.
yeah.
You're
Let's see it.
better off
Let's peep it.
watching
It's
us
rated
than
R.
snuff porn. It's Children of the Corn.
It's corn.
It's got the juices.
Surely it's got to have him in it, right?
You see someone get their
It
throat
has the
slit.
juice.
It's got the juices.
It has the juice. Let's drop some March.
I'm ready when y'all.
See, I've never heard of this RLJE Films before.
We watched tons of movies with that. Isn't RLJE? Isn't that ran by Doesn't a fucking comedian own that company?
Not sure without looking it up.
Image Entertainment subsidiary. I don't know. I have to do the deep dive on it.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it come up across several movies
Oh
we've
yeah,
watched.
man, it's a
But
Mandy.
yeah.
tend to be
Anyway.
lower budget films. All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Motor it. Oh, we got the trailer
It's
guy.
crispy. It's corn.
It's got the juice.
Quality's good.
Yeah.
So it's a little girl instead of a little boy. Not that that matters.
I mean, they're fucking shit up. All right.
I mean, it doesn't look bad. To be fair.
I mean, it looks good, but it's Children of the Corn.
I mean, you're right.
Hmm.
So is this about Bowie?
Negative.
Damn it. Ground control, Major Tom.
I started to watch it just to see. It's like, what is this? I don't want to watch a rom-com trailer.
Yeah.
And it's he signs up to go to Mars, and he's telling his family it's one-way trip. I signed up. I'm gonna be one of those people. And they're all like,
Okay.
So it's like 2 hours of him saying goodbye and all the shit involved.
I think it's got Kevin Bacon in it. The thing.
You can't go to space, son. It's just not fucking happening.
Do
You got
it.
graboids here.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Is that dude from I don't know if we can cover that. Oh, he's gonna fall in love and then not want to go. It is a
Yeah.
rom-com. It is him. I was gonna say, is that the dude from Big Bang?
Yeah.
Looks different with long hair.
He's gonna give him a reason to live.
Yes, yes. Give me your wallet. Oh. Directed by Kira Sedgwick. That's why he's in it.
Yeah.
Because that's his wife. Kyle Allen. Change it.
I mean, to be a rom-com, it don't look that bad.
Looks depressing.
Yeah. Because what they don't show you is that a meteor hits Earth and just kills everybody.
No, no. What they didn't show is the reason why he wants to leave, and
Do
I bet
y'all
that's depressing.
do y'all remember that movie like Moon or something where the long distance relationship? We watched the trailer for it.
Yes.
And it was like a rom-commy, like,
yeah.
you know, youth. That movie was so
Oh.
bad it didn't last a year on HBO. They pulled it off. They were like, get it off the fucking platform.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was in that big cancellation they had where they just started pulling shit.
They're like,
I'm
"Get the
excited
fuck
for
outta
this.
here."
And you
I haven't
guys will
seen
see
anything
why.
about this.
Okay, ready.
Hang on, I gotta leave my comment. Cause this is what's up. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Definitely
Dude.
Will Ferrell, right? Watch this shit.
Oh God.
Yes.
Watch this though.
Yes.
Fetch and fuck.
Just trying to get rid of him.
Dude, how long has it been since we had a movie like this?
Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
What did he just say? I'm still a little drunk. They're playing the Les Grossman song. It just got worse.
Oh God.
I'm fucking sold.
We got to cover this one, guys.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck?
Dude.
That looks
Yes.
amazing.
That looks like the fucking silly goose time that we need.
That's the kind of shit we need to just cut our brain off and watch something like.
Yeah.
Yes. Ah, that's awesome.
Why does Billy Bob Thornton look like Walter White?
I know, right?
Open the door. He's like, I'm the one that knocks.
I'm the one that devil speak. Ready when y'all are.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Skin that smoke wagon. Oh, he is Walter White.
Jackson County.
Damn, he looks weathered. Well, they fucking with him just because his dad. You trash, boy. He's going to have to kill his dad.
Yeah.
And that's what he means by that.
Right.
Like, he's like, what you doing? What you gonna do with that gun, boy? Them just make me mad. When he comes in there with it.
Yeah.
Unseen. The one thing we all wish we could do.
It was a lot easier when you had to wear a mask. You could just in and out somewhere, and it was like,
yeah, coming at you like a beam, like a ray.
all right, 3, 2, 1, play. What?
Okay.
That was really weird. Did y'all not think that?
Yeah.
I was about to say you. Oh, your phone. It should be her phone going dead. I like the way it's kind of shot. Like,
Yeah. Over the top.
yeah, like this guy. I would get lost. Okay.
And the thing is, he's telling the truth, you know? He wouldn't. About half mile off prop.
Yeah.
That right.
Like when he wakes up in the morning, he's like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Super
just
cell.
swallows it. Didn't even spit. This got our boy. Well, I don't say our boy.
The murderer.
Man, I'm not gonna make a joke. I'm not gonna. I almost did. I had to. This is a tornado movie.
Is it like Sharknado?
No, just NATOs.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Super. I thought this was about batteries.
18650s. Bunch of them.
Supercell, dude.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're
Is
storm
that who
chasers.
I thought it was?
Oh yeah, it's Alec Baldwin.
Dorothy, dude. Where's Dorothy at?
He loves it. That makes sense. Oh, there's Dorothy. It's a tornado bomb. Oh, it's a weather machine.
Dude, fuck that.
Shit, that lasts like 30 minutes in that van.
Yeah.
Damn, this movie don't even have an IMDb. Oh, I found it. That's Anne Heche. I thought that was her.
We're gonna get to see her butthole.
I mean, R.I.P.
He Ulrich. No one cares about who you are, what you did. This thing's got satellite comlink.
Yeah. Do you know who Skeet Ulrich is?
He's the murderer from Scream.
Yeah, Billy.
Billy.
Skeet.
I just remember it from the Cleveland show where they're wheeling him out and he says that shit to him.
And you did the Billy.
Fast 10.
So
Yeah.
I actually had
Dude.
the teaser in here, but they did the trailer during the Super Bowl. The teaser was hilarious, y'all. It was like everybody was just sitting in a car, and the camera was like whoosh, whoosh, and zooming in on all the people. Jason Momoa, Vin
Dude,
Diesel family.
What sucks, dude, is that watching this movie and then going back and probably watching the Fast and the Furious, something got lost along the way.
See, like, well, now it's like, what was that? Expendables. It's just over the
Yeah.
top, just. And this
Yeah.
one's
And
like got everybody in it. So whenever
And
this
it's-
trailer aired, remember the original guy, the Asian dude that was directing them? So he
Yeah.
eventually left. He was like, I'm not doing these anymore. There was an article that said when this trailer aired, he called Vin Diesel and he's like, I get it. Family. Like, he really did. He called him and was like, I get it now. Like, because this movie has them all in it. Like,
Well,
anybody that's been in them is in this one.
Well, dude, at the end of the day, I will still stand firmly with the idea that the very first movie in the
Loved it.
franchise is a damn
Was
good.
that Nissan Skyline?
It's a good old cops and robbers movie, and the whole like that. It they don't race anymore. That's the whole
No.
point. It's
No
about
pink
illegal
slips.
street racing.
Now they're like the
And-
Avengers.
Yeah, and I get it. I'm sure Paul Walker made him have to do a hard pivot with what they were doing, but still, like,
Yeah. No, dude, I'm standing by what I said. If we did them all on the pod, it would be for very entertaining episodes. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think so too. But I also know that we would go from enjoying the
We would have
series
to spread it out to like one a month.
I'm
I
just
couldn't
putting
do
it
them
this
all
way.
back to back.
I'm putting it this way. If y'all would rather sit through all the Fast and the Furious movies rather than James Bond,
I mean,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
be
get to those eventually.
I'm gonna be hurt.
Shit, they're releasing movies faster than we can watch them now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we
be
don't have enough
betrayed.
time. We don't do enough podcasts. We need to do like 3 episodes a week.
I ain't got time for all
Yeah,
that. If we got paid to do it, then yeah, I'd do one every day.
When people
but
are like,
shit.
"You haven't watched that yet?" I'm like, "You don't know what I go through.
Yeah, I podlocked on it, bro.
Busy."
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like. Cue the ninja meme.
But this is a 4-minute trailer. I'm kind of
Yeah.
excited about
I like this
so-
comment that says, "Glad this movie played all the way through without ads." It's like pretty much the whole fucking movie. Let's peep it.
All right.
Let's see if they got. You know it's gonna be bigger and better.
Oh yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Someone's gonna be jumping out of a plane.
Oh, there's gonna be
It's got
plenty. Probably a
Momoa in it,
car.
dude.
I think he's the new add-on. Look, family. All of you still. Family, see? Ten movies, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He might be a good bad guy. What was the other
Yeah.
one? The last one was John Cena, right?
It was
And he was Vin
Statham,
Diesel's
wasn't it?
brother. Oh,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know though. Now he's there. He's friendly.
Family.
Dude, Fast and Furious has the budget of a James Bond movie now. I'll
Yeah.
tell you why in a minute.
It's the highest grossing franchise, right?
Do you know how much? Guess. Y'all guess. All together what it's made. Just watching. I've already looked.
5 billion.
6.
That's close.
Yeah. That's a lot of money, dude.
Yeah. That's why they're not going to stop making them.
No, dude. Momoa got some pounds on him, don't he? Look at him. He's
Yeah.
straight up Drexel in here. Or maybe I am. They're going to race again.
Yeah, dude.
Oh. We're in a race. Oh. Come on. There's Statham. Where's the airplane? Is that all? It is her, right? I didn't know she was in this series. There it is. There's the plane.
Yep, I knew
He's
it.
coming out of it.
Oh, look at him.
Look at that.
Oh.
Would destroy that car.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh. Dude, he might die in this one. Yeah. Go ahead and just show it. Yeah, right.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Dude, that vehicle's come a long way since jumping a railroad track.
Oh, Charlize Theron came back. The fuck's happening? Like, how come the lights start flickering when they start fighting? Could they bust a light or something?
Wait, it just said the end of the road begins, so that's not even the final one.
Ludicrous. They're bringing back like everyone though.
Yeah.
Even Scott Eastwood. Didn't know he
Vin
was
Diesel
in it.
was like, so I watched Endgame,
I think
and I said, I'm gonna do it like that, but with a lot of cars and family.
Family.
Familia.
I saw an article this week that led me to this teaser. Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino.
mm-hmm.
This is his new show. You know, Atlanta just ended. It was a weird ending. Then he came out and he was like, I hate this fucking show.
What would you rate the overall ending?
Well, like, it didn't have one. It just kind of played it out. Like, there was no end. It was just like, yeah, it's over.
Well,
Like, for the show.
Yeah, so
Well,
how,
the last
well, I
season,
guess,
dude, had nothing to do with the way it started. It was just completely just wild. Like, you know, and kind of like, it was almost like Peele directed it. It was strange. Like, I enjoyed it though.
did it seem like the writing kind of just lost interest in the show?
Well, it changed just completely. Like, I'll go into it a little bit. I don't feel comfortable talking about some of the sketches.
Sure. Heard that.
Yeah. Watching it, you
Yeah.
know. Swarm though. Let's see what
Let's
this
see
is
what
about.
he's got some horror shit coming.
Mm,
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
mm.
She's sucking her fingers. Well, look, dude, it got real bizarre, and this looks like this is what this is doing. Like, it was just, It got strange. Hear the bees?
It's a
Psycho
series?
fan.
Okay. I'm down.
Oh, we got our
Yeah.
dirk, 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 dirk.
Da, da, da.
Oh, oh, oh.
I'm ready for this.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh shit! Biggest hoax. Dramedy?
PlayStation ring.
Yeah.
Like Bollywood Wes Anderson.
I think you got the memo. We don't smoke in movies anymore. What is going on?
I don't know.
I mean,
Dude, is that a mass suicide that
felt like they were all
happens?
dead. Yeah, okay. That would make sense. He does look like a
They think
cult
the world's
leader.
they think the world's gonna end, so they all drink the Kool-Aid.
That
Hopefully, they
looks.
have enough time to do a song and a dance before
Yeah.
the suicide dance.
I was very surprised there was no slow motion.
So that was produced by Sony Music Entertainment India.
Oh,
There's
How
a
much?
vibe. There is a vibe that that movie gives, like with its lighting.
Yes.
There's a vibe it gets that I've experienced in life before, like that hazy, sunny evening, like around this area. Like it makes like fourth the way the world looks, like when it's like the 4th of July, like around that time period.
Yeah.
Like you can see haze in the background. It's been a hot fucking day. Like
Yeah.
it's that last bit of sunlight, man. Everybody's wrapping up their swimming for the day, and I don't know. It's just that it's a comfy summer vibe, even though the story they're showing clearly isn't. But you know,
Yeah. What is Moon Garden?
I don't know, but I had all the trailers worked out, and then
sounds
I
like a
came
crazy
across this and
beer.
just had to drop it. It does sound like a
Okay.
beer. Sounds like an
Yeah,
IPA. Moon Garden.
bought me a 6 pack of Moon Garden, guys. Let's rip it.
I'm 3 deep into Moon Garden, bro.
I mean, bro, they're like 5.6%,
Moon Garden got a little bit
bro.
of CBD in it.
Yeah.
You know,
Why
Delta
not?
8.
What do you got on you, man? I got a half ounce of Moon Garden, dude.
It sounds like a weed strain.
It does.
Yeah,
Fucking Bobby got up on that Moon
that's
Garden,
what they
bro. We
make
couldn't bring
moon
him
rocks out
down.
of. You know that those.
Motherfucker was hanging up in the clouds like straight DreamWorks, bro.
It's like, dude, that Moon Garden was straight nugs.
That shit was DreamWorks, bro.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Mm.
Bunch of fireflies. Something. Eyes.
Coherence.
Coherence. I break for that. Wait, it's like Mad God.
They're singing what you call it? Oh, the story goes. Harry Nilsson. I can't live if living's without you.
Mad God with a That's funny.
It looks trippy. Is that girl already dead or something? Like
Oh, dude, what if she's traveling to the
something's
afterlife?
She looks like she's in a coma.
yeah. I'm gonna put this and check it out
Yeah,
because
put
it's
this
got
on
a
the
because it's
check this
something that might
out.
get lost and you know.
Yeah. Like I can already call it, man. That little kid actor is gonna like straight up embody like human innocence, dude. It looks like it came out the same year as fucking Never Ending Story. That's what's crazy.
Yeah,
Like it's got like they've worked that angle with it for its, to its advantage.
that looks really, really good.
Now, Mad God was a tough watch, but this looks more palatable, dude.
Right.
Oh man, here we go, guys. I haven't seen this.
Yeah, I haven't watched this one either.
Someone gave James Gunn a shout out today on Twitter. Was like, "Yo, the cinematography in that Flash trailer is really good." You know, shout out to whoever did that. He was like, "Fun fact: the guy that did that also did Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3."
Hell yeah.
Double dipping.
Yeah.
Down. Let's
Sweet.
let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh God.
Huh.
Not a reference to Among
Among
Us.
Us. Yeah.
It's a reference to Space 2001. I remember Kevin Smith saying that it was Rocket's story like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they? Mm. Banger. Can't wait.
I think it's gonna be sad as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty
I think
emotional
it's
there,
gonna
didn't it?
yeah, I think it's gonna be sad as fuck, dude. And really, the whole Guardian story has been pretty sad, like
Dude, man. Honestly, if this movie holds up and fires at the same caliber the other two did, this is probably this little nugget of story, the Guardian story, is probably one of the best things that the MCU gave to
Definitely like the
the
best
audience.
trilogy, like
For
yeah,
sure.
overall.
yeah. So now
Now this,
I watched this trailer as soon as it dropped. I saw it on YouTube the night of the Super Bowl, and I haven't watched it since because I was so pumped after watching it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm ready
And I was
to I'm ready for my brain to melt again.
yeah.
All right, here we go. Upgrading the quality.
I'm making it full screen, dude. Fuck it.
Yeah,
I'm going full
yeah,
screen as
I'm
well.
going dark, so count it down.
3, 2, 1, play. Mm. You stole my face. Yes, you are. Let's go. Sheesh. Man.
So are they
So
do
that's how you introduce a female superhero.
Well, you also get now why like they didn't can this movie.
Dude,
yeah.
You know,
so
Gunn was like,
much
I don't give a fuck what the
there
guy did. This shit's got to come out.
there's so much fucking yes in
Yeah.
this fucking 3 minute fucking trailer, man. Like,
So
yes.
are they adapting the All-Star Superman story for her? Because that's what it seems like. Like
Well,
The All-Star Superman story was where the spaceship lands on Earth, they capture baby Kal-El and do experiments on him underground, and it isn't until he breaks out is the first time he's ever been exposed to sunlight, and it fucked his head up really, really, really bad, and, like, it's a completely tonal shift of who, who Superman is because he grew up being researched. That's kinda how it feels like her story is,
Yeah,
and I'm okay with that.
dude,
1000%.
man, as much as the brain like wants to nitpick, dude, there's no way you could nitpick that trailer, dude. That shit
No.
looks so good. We've got two iterations of Batman, two possibly three iterations of the Flash. We've got an introduction. We got a Kryptonian on board. Like, dude, that movie's got so much. It's a hidden Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that I'm wondering, like if they're gonna go that far. Are they with all that we see on screen with Zod and all that shit, are we going to get a reverse Flash?
Maybe. I
Because
mean, but
that because that kinda that's kind of a big deal in the Flash like universe.
yeah. I mean, I could see that maybe if they decide to go that route with it, then maybe Reverse Flash follows him across timelines and they have to work
Well,
together, maybe?
I'm wondering if that could be a twist, is that the Barry that he thinks is him is they've like Reverse Flash has found a way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I mean, that's a possibility.
because we could get that shot because they're recreating it in the show, I think as well, or I think they did. It's that shot in the comics, man, where Reverse Flash is pulling himself out of another body. You see him ripping his fucking head off to show him underneath it and everything. It's fucking
There was
brutal.
some crazy shit like that going on,
Yeah.
you know.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like that where like that version of Barry that's riding with the one we're following, if like the reverse flash got to him instead and killed him and took his face basically.
Yeah.
It looks fucking epic, and I will be
Because
going
I
to the
think
theater to watch it.
because I
Yeah.
think because like I think the stuff with Ben Affleck Batman, I think the stuff with Zod and everything, I think that's just a small bit of the larger movie. Like I feel
Yeah.
like that stuff that's going to happen in like at least within the first hour.
Yeah.
Well, see, they got Gunn working over there now too. He's like, I'm going to show you how to do a trailer. All right. Don't put everything in it.
And
Yeah.
I'm the only now the only thing I didn't like was the nod wink to the audience when Michael Keaton does the whole "Yeah, I'm Batman." Like the look he gives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
he's
was
heard it a
kind of
million
like,
times.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I'm
and
Batman.
he kind of breaks the fourth wall with his look. But other than that, though, like that shit looks. It looks like he finally took Jack Nicholson's advice and just let the CGI do the trick. Like,
Yeah. Right.
Was
because
directed
that,
by the guy that did it.
oh,
Yeah.
Mama.
Andrew Muschietti
Yeah. So,
or Machete, I think.
I mean,
No
Which,
shit.
well, you could tell because, like, dude, the cinematography looked good. The camera movement and the camera work looked fucking dope.
yeah. That's the Guardians guy.
Like the shot where it's zooming in and you see where both flashes use each other to kickstart each other.
Yeah.
That little symmetry
Did,
shot, that was fucking
did y'all
cool.
notice the tagline on the poster? Worlds
No.
collide
Oh, you
was the
ready to
tagline.
go? Cause I'm ready to go. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't wait till that comes out.
Yeah,
Definitely gonna be peeping that.
June 16th.
I'm gonna try, keyword try, to go watch Ant-Man this weekend.
Have y'all seen the early scores?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's my
What are the
thing.
scores?
Well, it's the
I haven't
reviewers, the
seen.
people that get early, the
Are they
motherfuckers that
shitting on
write
it?
the articles. It was like 46.
Yeah.
But these are the people that write the articles that, like you got people that they're not even comic book fans going and watching it and be like, well, it's a movie.
Man, you
It's like, you don't know
can't
shit
tell
about the
me.
story,
You
motherfucker.
can't tell me that in that badass trailer we got, that when you flesh out those scenes and give us the full runtime, like, dude,
Dude, there's plenty of people
even
with good reviews, but there
even
was enough to bring it down.
well, we going into this, we know the worst case scenario with these movies, especially with comic book movies. It's something that gets brought up a lot, and it's a common criticism that we all tend to make and come to agreement with. The worst that they can do in a superhero film is take a character and introduce them and kill them in the same film.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the only biggest sin they can do.
Yeah. And they can't because Kang's gonna be the overall villain, right? Well, I mean, technically they could.
I feel like, well, well, they can, but I think that's why we're getting MODOK, so that someone does, like a bad guy does get put down.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen where possibly they might have it lined up to where MODOK's going to get out of the quantum realm and recreate AIM, which is weird
Yeah, Will Instant
because
Messenger.
AIM, well, I mean, AIM was already created and established by homeboy that did Extremis in Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, that doesn't, I mean, yeah, that's another conversation to have whenever we get around to that shit, if that even happens. But
Yeah.
I do think that MODOK might be, because of who they're going to use to become MODOK. I feel like that's how they're going to be able to have where Scott Lang gets some sort of I win, you lose type of scenario. But I think that if he does ultimately kill Kang in this movie, I mean, obviously, we're going to be seeing more than one performance from Majors in this film. So seeing Kang die, I think, is not going to mean shit the first few times we see him get killed.
Yeah. Why is this major so major?
Because it's gonna be like Thanos dying multiple times in in his 2-part story. Then like it's gonna take that and go to 11.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because when I was watching the movie, I was like, it's kind of got a Catch-22 kind of vibe. Like the way it was
Yeah.
shot, certain things about it made me think of that movie.
Right.
Fucking next week, guys, war breaks out in Germany,
Yeah.
1914. We're
World
going
War
way
One.
back.
Hey, I'm loving these trips in the Wayback Machine, guys. Keep it up.
All quiet on the
Yeah.
Western Front.
Let's do it.
Checks in the mail.